go ahead and get the ball rolling and allow me to introduce our keynote speaker for today. So, very established and distinguished individual. He earned a double major in civil engineering and management from the University of Melbourne and now leads the subsidiary of SM Prime Holdings, the SM Engineering Design and Development Corporation, or SMEDD. Under his leadership, SMEDD leads the design and construction of SM Prime Holdings properties, integrating sustainability and disaster resilience in its developments. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm round of applause for Mr. Hans Chico C.
Good morning, everyone. Yan, gising na. Thank you to the Manila Bulletin team for putting this forum together and for inviting me to serve as your keynote speaker today. Just to introduce myself once again, I am Hans Chico C. Jr. I am basically, to describe my role, I am the fairy godfather, wag naman mother, fairy godfather of the construction group. They give me an empty piece of property, I wave my magic wand, meaning my people, and a building comes out. So everything that you see in the shopping centers, from the SM Mall of Asia, to the Mall redevelopments, to the Mall of Asia Arena, and to, excitingly, our upcoming Cebu Arena, that is basically handled by my group. So we really look at how buildings interact with people such as yourselves and really try our best to deliver an exciting experience for all of you, and that's why SM is where it is today. I want to begin today with a concept that will shape your generation even more than mine: climate literacy. Climate literacy means understanding how the climate works, how human activity affects it, and how that knowledge allows you to act with clarity and purpose. When I was your age, and I hate saying that because I obviously still feel your age at times, climate change felt very abstract. It was something you read about, not something you lived through. Unfortunately, your generation does not have that luxury. We are living in the century of heat records, rising seas, and the strongest typhoons we've ever recorded. Scientific consensus tells us that weather patterns will continue to intensify in the coming years. We are also living in a century full of solutions: renewable energy, green design, circular economies, and climate finance. Technology such as AI, when used the right way, helps provide solutions that will have a bigger impact on society. The way to make sense of both the challenges and the solutions is climate literacy. Think of it like learning a new video game. You cannot unlock your full abilities or the full map until you understand how the system works. Like any real skill, climate literacy takes time. You build it slowly, with consistent effort, one level at a time, and it begins with a few simple steps. I say simple, but important. First, get the basics right. Learn beyond the classroom. Read to understand, not just to do an assignment. Listen to people who work in the space and build a solid understanding from there. I cannot emphasize how important it is for you to know the basics for yourself and to fully comprehend the issues for yourself. I emphasize the self because this is for you. In the office, to relate, we always encourage everyone to learn everything that they can, regardless of their specialization. Just because, particularly in our field, just because you're a civil engineer doesn't mean that you can't learn electrical, doesn't mean that you can't learn fire protection, mechanical engineering. It is all part of you as a person wanting to be better. Take advantage of the environment to learn more than just your specialty. Why is this important? Because no matter, and I say this to a lot of my employees, no matter what happens to you in the future, as long as you're alive, you take your knowledge with you. Knowledge is not like money or a resource or a relationship which you can lose. Knowledge is forever. Without this fundamental knowledge, we cannot move on to the next step. With knowledge, you will learn to filter information. More so than today, there is a lot of noise out there. Memes, fake news, AI trash videos. Your understanding of knowledge is all the more relevant because of the advent of AI tools. AI can be good when harnessed with knowledge, but can be very deceiving and malicious when used without it. We have a saying again in the office that one should not be allowed to use AI unless one is proficient in the topic that you are asking the AI. Because how do you know that the AI response is correct if you don't know how it's actually done? Make no mistake, I am not afraid of technology. I am afraid of people who use it irresponsibly. It is your basics that will give you the ability to discern. Climate literacy means knowing what is real, checking your sources, and spotting the difference between a genuine solution and simple greenwashing. So third, make a move. When you understand the science, the next steps become clearer. You can act in ways that help your community and the environment, and you can stay focused on what actually works. So what does that actually look like in real life? It starts with simple everyday choices. Bring a reusable bottle, segregate your waste properly, avoid single-use plastics, and make it a habit to save water and electricity. As a personal example, I make the effort to bring a tumbler to my regular coffee shop. This simple effort literally saves hundreds of single-use plastics a day because, trust me, in my world, coffee is life. Does that mean I don't use single plastics? I unfortunately still do, but I at least have a footprint. Can I do more? Absolutely. And I will make the effort as time goes by. But what really matters, guys, is that we started on this path. Your greatest influence is beyond lifestyle. It is participation. Being part of a community and empowering a movement. Share credible climate online to educate others. Support recycling efforts. Volunteer in cleanup drives. Join sustainability movements. As students, we are all used to peer pressure situations. I encourage that we use it in a positive manner. So like how we would encourage someone to possibly dance this new viral TikTok dance, we could likewise encourage someone to make a small change and reduce their plastics footprint. At SM, we also do our part. Our commitment to climate resilience goes back to the late 1980s. When SM Makati burned down in 86, I think, I might be wrong. My father chose to rebuild with stronger systems and better protections in place. SM Makati, as a trivia, was the birthplace of the implementation of the first modern fire sprinkler system in the Philippines. That moment is an example of how that event shapes how we think and how we do our work today. Today, fire sprinklers are ubiquitous. Every building has one, and a fire from SM Makati is what made that happen today. We learn from failures and become stronger from the lessons. Our malls, residence offices, hotels, and convention centers serve millions of people every day, and we recognize the immense responsibility that comes with that. We always remind our staff every day it is our role to make sure that all our customers engage in a very safe and friendly environment. To fulfill that responsibility, we focus on three fronts: mitigation, adaptation, and community resilience. On mitigation, we continue to expand renewable energy and energy-efficient designs. Many of our malls run on solar power, our buildings use LED systems, efficient cooling, and water-saving features. These are long-term investments that reduce our carbon footprint and help us operate more responsibly. On adaptation, we build infrastructure that protects people. Dozens of our properties have large rainwater catchment basins already built into the foundations. These structures capture millions of liters of stormwater and help ease flooding in surrounding communities. The idea is very simple. If we are possibly, a contributor to a flood, and how does this work? A rainwater catchment simply deters the water from flowing downstream. So whatever rain that falls on the property, we are able to store it and hopefully release it at a later time when the floodwaters have receded, so that we do not contribute to the ongoing concern. We take steps to really avoid that situation. It is not an easy task to build an infrastructure that doesn't have real commercial value, but it is something we do because we believe it is our responsibility. Flood control can be done. There, I mentioned it now. It is a public good that we all know that our government is responsible for. But this is an example that we can all contribute in our way and not just simply rely on somebody else. We also design for stronger typhoons, higher temperatures, and shifting weather patterns. SM pioneered the requirement for generator sets, simply because we know that these typhoons come with uncontrollable consequences, such as unfortunate power outages. It's actions like these that show just because things keep happening, it doesn't mean that we should just allow it to impede our progress. We have choices to make our lives easier. Again, was this a simple task, putting generator sets into a property? No, but it is what is required for us to be who we are today. These initiatives help our properties stay safe and operational for people seeking shelter. On community resilience, we work with local governments, schools, NGOs, and global partners to strengthen disaster preparedness. Through SM Cares, we support programs for persons with disabilities, senior citizens, children, frontliners, because climate impact is not equal. Some groups face higher risks, and we have a role in helping narrow that gap. We also promote responsible waste management through our RDC system, which stands for recyclable, disposable, and compostable. It's the blue, green, and gray trash buckets you see in the SM malls today. It is a simple framework that helps people build better habits and keeps waste out of our waterways. This is also a very personal advocacy of mine because proper segregation is one of the most practical ways we can strengthen climate resilience in our communities. We all ask, how come we don't have more recycling in our community? This is what we need to do to start the industry. Without participation, it is an uphill battle for a recycling industry to start because the biggest component of a recycling company is segregation. You have to spend a lot of energy, effort, money to actually sift through the goods to make sure that you get the recyclable material from actual trash. And it is through these efforts like RDC that we are able to make a difference to these people. Even with all this, no company can do it alone. Your generation's voice, energy, and skills matter. You can help shape conversations and bring solutions to your community. You can bring fresh ideas, new tools, and a different level of urgency to the problem. Remember what I said about that TikTok video? Harness that energy for good. Climate literacy is just the first step in solving the environmental challenges before us. And your generation carries much of that weight because you will inherit both the challenges and the responsibilities to fix it. To end my message, I want to share a quote from Dr. Jane Goodall, who passed away last month. She was one of the world's most respected wildlife advocates. Her work showed how deeply we are connected to the natural world. She spoke about climate change often, especially its impact on endangered species. Dr. Goodall once said, "What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." As the generation who will inherit this climate reality, your actions matter, and your choices will define the future. So keep learning, stay curious, volunteer when you can. Your impact begins earlier than you think, and your contribution is greater than you may realize today. Thank you. I look forward to working with you to build a more climate-resilient Philippines.
Thank you very much, Sir Chico. If we could ask you to stay on stage, sir, and at this point we'd like to call on our Manila Bulletin executives to join Mr. C on stage. Could we please have our Head of Branded Content Group, Ms. Irish Lorenzo, our Manila Bulletin Sustainability Events Co-Project Lead, Mr. Philip Coonying, and the Brand and Marketing Manager, Mr. Leslie Arajo, to join Sir Chico on stage for the photo op.